rule French Revolution was worried that the vertical rule feudal nobility would use the new horizontal system as a means to get back into power. And this is what Alexis de Tocqueville said, which would perfectly fit into what Donny is doing today. So I quote here, "Can it be believed that the democracy which overthrew the feudal system and vanquished kings will retreat before tradesmen and capitalists?" Hey, Donny, I think you know perfectly well what Alexis de Tocqueville is talking about here. Hey? So this is Alexis de Tocqueville. Alexis de Tocqueville in French. He even wrote a book, Democracy in America. So already 200 years ago, he saw it coming, what we see now with Donny. So if you want to understand Donny, I think all Americans should read this book. And you can see that only the nobility, so you can see that there, this guy, he was of the high nobility. It says here, Tocqueville came from an old aristocratic Norman family, the great-grandson of the statesman Malesherbes, who was guillotined in 1793. So the French Revolution was 1789. He was the third son of Hervé Louis François Jean Bonaventure Clérel, Count of Tocqueville, a count, yeah, officer of the Constitutional Guard of, a Constitutional Guard. So a king, he had a Constitutional Guard. It's like state security, you know, of King Louis XVI. That was the guy who was decapitated. And Louis-Madeleine Le Pelletier de Rosambeau. If you see this de, as in de Tocqueville, de Rosambeau, you know that they are of the nobility. And also Maximilien Robespierre, the Bourbon. Bourbon is a royal house of France, one of the royal houses. So you can see, as I've been telling you, this is a new, after the revolution, and in America, 1776, and in France, 1789, there was a new aristocratic system. From first, it was the feudal vertical rule by the kings, and then there was democracy was invented by the Knights Templars, and it came into place after the French Revolution, and in America in 1776. Which is a horizontal system. And only the nobility really understands this, and this is why a guy like de Tocqueville, Alexis de Tocqueville, he could say the things that, you know, you just read, which 200 years ago he said it, but it fits very well into what we see now going on in America and also in Europe. Look, here's the same birdie of Pharaoh holding an arrow in its claws. So here you see the ice logo. I already explained it to you. I analyzed it for you in my previous video about the ice devil. And here I grabbed this from some images or footage. A Hamas fighter, he had this badge on his shoulder, and I immediately saw the birdie, because you know it's all the same thing. It has you can see it. It's all the same origins. You know, they just let the peoples fight each other in horizontal wars, but the masters, they're on both sides leading it. You know, it's so obvious. So to the left is the American ice birdie, and to the right some Islamic Caliphate birdie, which apparently birdie birdie flying over the ocean into the Americas, yeah? Because it's the same Horus falcon birdie birdie. Same arrows holding in its claws, the same concept of three representing the masters of three ice arrows shooting at American civilians. And to the right, three vertical lines, because a caliphate is in fact vertical rule. So it's all the same, people. It's one and the same global organization by the same global rulers. And I wonder, how many caliphate guys have they already slipped into the ice pasdaran to put disobedient Americans in an ice camp? The Icewits, Pasdaran Hanshar, Free Arabian Legions, just as in World War II. The images, the numbers, and the symbols don't lie. It's happening all over again. So here you see the three arrows. This is the concept of three, which stands for a masters. And here are the three lines for the vertical rule going up here behind Horus. So, and here he's holding an arrow. And this, of course, it's supposed to be like two Islamic mosques, but it's not. It's Yachin and Boaz, you know. And here the same wall as in the pyramid on the dollar. You know, it's all Freemasonry. You know. And so the Hamas guys, they were, one of the Hamas guys, he was wearing this badge. You can see, you know, it's the same ones behind it. It's the same birdie birdie, the same arrows, the same concept of three. They just let religions, races, nations fight each other in endless horizontal war. So look at the symbols and the numbers and all the secret stuff, people. Don't believe a word what they're saying, you know, all these actors. Just look at the symbols and open up your eyes, you know, it's all straight in our faces. Wake up, please. Same here in the logo of the so-called Center for Peace Communications, probably Donny's sub-department, to soften up all the antagonists, showing the same Horus birdie birdie, with the sun for Horus eye of the sun, or golden Horus sun disk for the concept of three, and compass, 4 lines on each side for the concept of 4 for the square, saying altogether Horus, sun god, square, and compass. Hallelujah, Donny. So, see, it's not a dove or a white dove bringing peace, and these ones are not going to bring peace. There are no organizations that bring us peace. There's nothing. It's all by them, you know. And so this is the same birdie birdie as this birdie birdie or this birdie birdie. And here you see the sun, which is at the same time the compass, because Horus is the eye in the sky, and the golden sun, the sun disk. And here are 4 lines, which are also part of a circle. So it says only this, it says square and compass. A circle is the compass, and the concept of 4 is the square, because the square has 4 corners and 4 lines. And even here there are 3, because this is it's a pyramid here, you know. And the pyramid is the concept of 3, because it's a hierarchy, or the hierarchy as some call it. And you see here it's Arabic here. It's all the same thing, people. It's everywhere the same. Same birdie here, same birdie here, same birdie here. And they're not going to bring peace. And same birdie here. Donny presenting himself as the winged Horus sun disk, the golden eye in the sky. And isn't it so, in fact, that Donny likes gold very much, for which most certainly his presumed allegiance to Horus is the reason. You all see the 3 arrows behind him for the concept of 3, 7 stars for the concept of 3 and 4, saying square and compass, and the red tie for the red house, the pertasser of the old world order, where he's officially from, being related to the royal houses of Denmark and Norway. These are pure pharaohs, and they show it all over on purpose, taking pictures like this. And of course, the photographer is most likely in it as well, who's like the royal court photographer. I've called this video Goldstein made Philistine, because the JJ base, or Holy Land, belongs historically to the Jaywalkers, and historically is no Dar al-Islam, but rather Dar al-Yahud. So here it says, Goldstein made Philistine, and I wrote it the Jaywalker way, or the old Jaywalker way, like Stein, meaning stone, in German, just like this stone here. And here is the country. And as a video maker and a historian, I'm absolutely neutral in the whole thing. And I'm only explaining you history, the actual political situation and its masters. No, not fake neutral like these ones here, but I'm really neutral. Neither do I have any problems with Muslims, and here in France rather had good experiences with them. When Arabs took me hitchhiking and always gave food on the way, when Turks, as you can see here, invited me for a coffee, or when Chechens invited me for a brutal barbecue with grilled livers and stuffed kidneys and lots of vodka. So it's not because of that I made this video. I must say I had a lot of very positive, friendly experiences. So I made this video here on this very short, on the same channel. It's I called it Oriental Hospitality by some nice Muslim fishermen who fed the homeless, unwanted South Africa. Well, not unwanted by him, but unwanted in Europe, actually. So I made this, 7 years ago. So, and this guy here, he's a real Muslim, a Haji, went to Mecca and all that. And I explained him about the pharaohs, and we even made a film about the pharaohs in Turkish together, when I spoke German with him and he translated it into Turkish. I'll show it to you in a minute. So here is that video we made together. Here is the Turkish Muslim. Here you got this pharaonic stuff here. And well, if you turn this around up, like you got the inverted pyramid of death. Here you got the whip of Pharaoh. And if there are any Turks watching, so here is the title: Firavun yönetiyor yeryüzün deki köle yönetimi. I hope I translate this. I pronounce this the right way. So personally, on a personal level, I had a lot of good experiences with Muslims. So it's not because of this I made this video. It's more like I know people are very under influence, especially by religion, and the situation is going to flip very soon. And it would be a pity. So personally, I have no problems with Muslims on the human side of personal relations and friendships, as you can see here in these videos. And there were a lot more, many more positive encounters I had with them. So this is from 2019. Oh, that's a funny year, eh? Catastrophic year that was. So that's 6 years ago. The title is Arabic Woman Feeds Homeless White Man. That's me. Homie Ross invited for dinner by friendly Muslims. Yeah. So, and I think especially the Chechens, where I had this brutal barbecue with a lot of vodka and grilled intestines or whatnot. I think they understood the information most. With the Arabs, I had a lot of difficulties, to get through. With the Turks, not, but I have a feeling they forgot quite quickly. Not the friendship, but the information about the pharaohs and all that, the enemy within. But the Chechens, that's something else. They really understood it, very interested, because they can see their countries completely being split up with this Kadyrov guy and the Kadyrovsky. So they understand that there is an enemy within, and they were very interested in it. And I have a feeling the Chechens are guys anyway who don't forget quickly. So that was a good thing. The problem is, though, that things can and will flip around very quickly, and I fear very soon, because the Muslims in general are very much indoctrinated by this pharaonic religion, by the Arab nobility and its original founder of the aristocratic Quraysh dynasty. Here it says, ancient Arabic order of the Quraysh nobles. I absolutely admire the Muslim combat readiness and their immediate sacrifice of their own lives for the cause. Only they always attack the wrong enemies because they don't know who the real enemy is. And when they can't find any innocent jaywalkers in the vicinity or some defenseless whiteys around, they start butchering each other, like during the war in Syria. Too bad, really, because I could very well use them in a vertical war against the real enemy of mankind and their base of the notorious octagon. Well, it's all maktub of the dunya, as Muslims say. It's destiny what has been written for our earthly passage. So, well, let's change the goddamn script, guys. And homie Ross will help you with that. So here it says maktub, which is literally, it means it has been written. It's like destiny. And dunya, it's the earthly life passage. What they believe, that it's just a passage and the real life starts afterwards in the best of possibilities. I actually spent 1 year in Afghanistan fighting the Ruskies in 1985, being part of a government assignment shortly before walking into the Lubyanka in Moscow. So forcibly I learned a lot about Islam and about Muslims without ever becoming one of them or any religion at all. I just respect all religions, but I don't want to be part of it. In the title of this film, Goldstein made Philistine, most of you guys pronounce it wrong, like Goldstein and whatnot. But both Gold and Stein are German words, what the Yiddish homies also use in this name, Goldstein and not Goldstein. And I have to say Philistine for this word here, which I don't want to pronounce in the other way because of the vocal AI control. It says AI, sir, instead of the original AI, sir. And soon we have to say AI, sir, yes, sir, instead of AI, sir. It's like reversed history in a time travel science fiction film, where AI, sir, of the future's end times got teleported back into history, bastardized into AI, sir, originally deriving from the future's AI, sir, Mr. Great Peacemaker, in between Pharaoh's vertical and horizontal rule. AI, Mr. President, a US soldier allegedly does not pledge obedience to the Constitution anymore, but to the great deceiver here. Allegedly, Donny issued an executive order to swear allegiance to the president and not to the Constitution anymore. Okay, here we go. AI, Mr. President. Interestingly, swearing allegiance to the Constitution is horizontal, but swearing allegiance to the president is vertical and quite feudal. So this is why the flag of the United States, as it was after Swaziland, the second horizontal rule republic in the world, all these stripes in the colors of the Knights Templars, red and white, they are horizontal and not vertical. So before this one here, it used to be horizontal, and now it's all gonna be vertical. As it says here, AI, Mr. President. 20 years ago, Holy Donny said these not so holy words, what you can see here to the right, in September of the year 2005. And what got published first time in October 2016, which you can see here to the left, by the Washington Post. The recordings were made by Billy Bush, a nephew of the 41st US President George Herbert Bush, and a cousin of the 43rd US President George W. Bush. So all pharaohs together in an arrogant conversation, humiliating the dumb commoners. So I will quote here in this video what your beloved President, Holy Donny, said about the females of the dumb commoners. Similar to the Lord in his medieval castle, discussing the jus primae noctis, when the nobility raped the females of the white tribes of Europe and in Europe on their first wedding night. No wonder there are many pictures of Donny with the alleged royal rapist Prince Andrew. So here you see Donny, red tie, it means the old world order, the vertical rule. Here with one of his wives, assumably, Prince Andrew. Here you see Epstein, here the other one. What is it? Probably Ghislaine. So her name is not Ghislaine or whatever you pronounce it. It's a French name. You pronounce it Ghislaine. And here, so many years later, what is it, 30 years later, they're still good pals. You see that? You see the whole grayish coming through Blondie's hair. He is all grey, so 30 years later, I suppose, they're still the best of pals. And here it says, Jus prime noctis. Noctis means night, prime first. Jus, it means law. So, the law of the first night. Because there's a tradition of pharaohs' nobility in Europe, in their castles, to rape the white race, or mostly the women. And this is why later on in history, all the crimes against humanity, like the Nubian slaves in America, the genocide on the Indians, it's all on the back of the white race, because they raped the women of the white tribes, we're all tribes basically, and they made little ones, and so you all think it's the white race doing it, but no. They did the same with the white race, or even worse. So this is very important that humanity understands this, Oh, and you thought that RR meant Rolls Royce. Oh, sorry, I have to disappoint you. It actually means royal rapist. Allegedly. Look here, it says allegedly, for the possible legal reactions coming from these very powerful people. I have to write down here allegedly. So here you see Prince Andrew with one of those girls. Here again, Prince Andrew. And here is Mr. Epstein. So it's not Epstein, it's Epstein. And there is a royal German lineage of the nobility called Epstein, von Epstein. And they were even in the beginning, in the early 1920s, there was a general von Epstein who was with the National Socialists even, setting up, because the Second World War was about getting the German emperor back on the throne. And there are also in Germany several Epstein castles. So it's not necessarily jaywalkers, as many people think. And if it is, it is presumably not the normal jaywalkers, but the jaywalker nobility, of course, which is also pure pharaoh, just as this one. That's why they are together, because this one, he wouldn't be together with a normal jaywalker. Forget it, they don't do that. Nobility only stays with nobility. I myself never use these type of words Donny used in 2005 in my own personal vocabulary. So I prefer not to utter them here either, and therefore will replace them with certain tonalities. Here we go. Sit tight and grab your armrests, as it's quite vulgar. Okay, there we go. I read for you. I did try and her. She was married. I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then, all of the sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony and everything. She's totally changed her look. I've got to use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. This is very important. Automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Very important, magnet. Remember these words. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the meow. You can do anything. The President of the United States of America. This is what your president said, the Americans. Especially those who think he's holy with, you know, like defending Christianity or whatever. So here you see him do, actually, what he's describing here. What he says he's doing all the time, like. So, and I just don't want to pronounce these words. I never do these sort of things, like pronouncing. I don't do it either. And so that's why I took some other tonalities for that. Hey, Donnie? So, dear Americans and all the Bible bangers amongst you, your beloved president has no problem copulating with married women and grab women by the meow. Well, that's the 7th commandment, Donnie, that says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," which is already 2 commandments broken by Holy Donnie, together with commandment number 3 broken by Holy Donnie, which I've shown you earlier in this film. Not so Holy Donnie says, and literally admits here, that he is automatically attracted like a magnet, as if he has no more control over it, that there is something stronger than himself, that makes him do things and transgress into indecency and disrespectfulness and possibly alleged violence and alleged rape. So here you can see there's something behind it here. And here too, there's something behind. Hey, Donnie. Donnie also states that he is automatically attracted to beautiful. Well, Donnie, let me ask you, do you think that the beautiful is still beautiful after you're done with the beautiful, which is, as you state here yourself, kiss the beautiful, grab the beautiful by the meow, and copulate the beautiful? Well, honestly, personally, I don't think Donnie's perverted actions would do any good to the young and beautiful, and will destroy them from the inside out. Now, what force always wants to destroy beauty and all that is beautiful? Well, evil does, and demons do. And let me tell you, demons do exist. I got severely attacked by demons at an ancient site where human sacrifice was done, what you can see in this video here. So this is an ancient temple where the Druids, they did human sacrifices 4,000 years ago. And also the Romans were there also doing sacrifices. Right next to it, you can see it from the hill, it's 1,000 meters high, it's all forest around. There's a French concentration camp, or the French concentration camp from the Second World War, where of course they had a lot of human material. So I guess they continued, you know. So I made this video 7 years ago, 2018, it's on the same channel. And the concentration camp is called this one here, the Stroothof. And here's the title. This site, it's called the Donon. The name already brings a vibration, you know. So here's the title. You punch it in yourself. So it was quite a creepy experience. I never had something like this before. And I'm not religious. I don't believe in this sort of things. I was not looking for it. It just happened. The next example of demon inhibition you can find here. I took this witness account here. Here's the title. It's in French. Here, this is my French channel with some French videos. This is a re-upload from 2 years ago. And I first uploaded this video 9 years ago on my channel chatzefratz, which is still being blocked by YouTube. I still can't use it. So here, chatzefratz, here's the title. I gave it another title again, I think. So 2016. And so in this video here, I took the witness account of a young French woman who got raped and therefore developed a sexual behavior similar to her rapist, because through the rape she got inhibited by the very same demons her rapist had infected her with. This phenomenon might lead to the suicide of the victim, desperately fighting the inhibited demons, as in the case here of the Epstein victim, Virginia GIUREH, here standing in the middle, where not the physical trauma of rape brought her to do this, but the spiritual trauma of being inhibited by demons and the fact of needing to battle them constantly, thus leading to mental exhaustion and mental breakdown, making the demon win through the ultimate and final decision. Now, by his own admittance, let's stop calling him Holy Donny, shall we now? And call him Humpy Trumpy instead, due to the facts presented here by the man himself, that he acts by the power of a force stronger than himself into his sexual aberrations. And I quote once more Donny's own words, "It's like a magnet, automatically attracted to beautiful, and grab him by the meow and copulate with married women." So here was in the newspaper, here you can see it again. Automatically attracted to beautiful. Well, I just explained to you who is already always attracted to beautiful. It's like a magnet. It means it's stronger than himself. And here, I did try and copulate her. She was married. And all these things, you know, it's stronger than himself. It's like a magnet. It means it's the magnet pulling him, making him do these things. It's not himself. You see, you have to analyze these words, and the man said it himself. To me, this is clear, hearing these words, that the superior force, stronger than himself, that like a magnet automatically attracts to beautiful, is the superior force of a demon, or respectively demons. All signs and facts accumulated here, I fear that a US president allegedly possessed by demons will lead America and possibly the world into the abyss. The problem, though, with demon-possessed individuals is that these individuals are absolutely two-faced, and the presumed inhibition will not show its ugly face other than under controlled events in private circles only until it's too late to escape. And in this very case of the US president, this alleged moment will come. This is why an expert on the matter, like the exorcist Bob Larson, only defends Holy Donny in his videos, where he sees Holy Donny as the savior of a Christian America. Oh, well played, Donny. American Christians love you. I'm sure that when Mr. Larson would have had the specific individual addressed here in his close vicinity, Dr. Larson would have talked differently. I have to continuously use words like allegedly, presumably, all the time, as YouTube is legally responsible for the things I say, and I don't want them to have any problems, as this video might attract certain legal consequences in order to have it silenced by certain forces behind the screens and that are extremely powerful. You can hear Donny's own faithful words of his presumable self-indictment of September 2005 in this video here, which I've called Humpy Trumpy, and using this thumbnail for it here in my channel, and of which I will leave a link in the description below the video. Here you can read for yourselves how Donny's own words from September 2005 got initially published on October 7th, 2016. So here it says Donald Trump Access Hollywood tape on October 7, 2016, 1 month before the United States presidential election that year. The Washington Post published a video and article about then presidential candidate Donald Trump and television host Billy Bush having a lewd conversation about women in September 2005. Trump and Bush were on a bus on their way to film an episode of Access Hollywood, a show owned by NBC Universal. In the video, Trump described his attempt to seduce a married woman and indicated he might start kissing a woman that he and Bush were about to meet. He added, "I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab him by the... You can do anything." Many commentators and lawyers describe such an action as sexual assault. Others argued that the remarks were an assertion that sexual consent is easier to obtain for the famous and wealthy, well, etc. Here you see Billy Bush from the Bush family. They're all pharaohs here. You can read it yourself. It's quite long, you know, so here you can read it, what he said. I moved on her, etc. I did try and her, she was married. That's the things he said, etc., etc. Well, you can find it yourself. And yeah, it's interesting. It happened on October the 7th, 2016. Right? October 7th. Does it ring a bell? There we go again, having that funny date of October 7th again, and ending this video with that very same date as with which we started this video. So for AI Donny, October 13th, Templars Day, was a day of success, talking about God the whole time and presenting the occasion to get hailed as the greatest peacemaker of all times. For Hamas and the Swiss UNRWA financiers to whom these cars belong, October 13th, Templars Day, was a day of victory, handing back merely a handful of the 1,000+ they butchered. And for me, homie Ross, my children have become strangers to me after having been away for 10 years now. I didn't see them grow up, and my kids had their father snatched away by the same owners of these white cars here, from the motherland of all evil, from the Alps. For homie Ross, there is no homecoming, nor a happy return. The overall analogy carries Swissy as the common denominator, the common terminator.